Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to make a video kind of showcasing my 120 gallon Mbuna tank. This tank is probably my favorite tank. As you guys know, I've had Mbuna for a long time. They definitely have a soft place in my heart. I like other types of African cichlids as well, peacocks and haps, but always just kind of favored the Mbuna. Had a lot of success and a lot of fun kind of with my tanks over the years with these guys. So this tank here is, it's been up and running for probably 8 or 9 months now, I guess, and has all the same fish in it. I haven't lost any fish, haven't taken any out, haven't added anything. And the tank is just doing fantastic. It just kind of takes care of itself, and it's very easy to maintain. So I've really enjoyed, kind of watching these guys grow up and kind of interact in this tank. So today I thought we would talk a little bit more in depth about the fish that I have in here. I also wanted to break down all of the equipment that I'm using, and also kind of give, maybe give a few tips here and there along the way, just for anybody out there who's looking for ideas or maybe looking to start a tank themselves. So yeah, let's get started with the video. So like I said, I've had this tank running for probably 8 or 9 months, and just gonna kind of go through the list of fish that I have in the tank. So I have a group of albino redfin zebra. And I have 2 males, 4 females. I have a group of yellow labs, 3 males and 4 females. A group of yellowtail ACI, 2 males, 4 females. I have a group of jallow reef, 2 males, 3 females. And I have a group of Pseudotropheus interruptus, 5 males and 7 females. Also in this tank, another group of fish that I always forget to mention. I do have 3 Synodontis petricola in here, and those guys I've had for probably 4 or 5 years anyway. And they're doing great. They're always in. Actually, they're kind of out and around there near the bottom. You'll see them darting in and out of the rocks. But yeah, these guys have been in here same amount of time, and they do great with the Malawi cichlids. So definitely a nice addition if you're looking for a catfish to add to your tank. Those guys do great, and they always they stay small as well. So they stay around 3.5 inches, 4 inches I think is the max. So great fish to go with these guys. And last but not least, I have my one Obi peacock in there. So he's doing quite well. He's got a little bit of attitude, but he does well with the Mbuna, so it works well. So all in total, I have 40 fish in this tank, and this tank is really nice and balanced. I really don't have too much issue with it. As you can see, there is a little bit of fighting right now. It's kind of late at night, and I actually kind of woke these guys up, so there's a little bit of there's some particles floating in the tank, and these guys are a little bit feisty right now, I guess. But so you have to excuse that. That's kind of just the nature of it, I guess. But the interruptus, like the 2 that you see there fighting, the males are definitely quite feisty with each other. Like I said, I have 5 males in here, and definitely do a lot of chasing, a lot of aggression, but nobody gets beat up or anything like that. There's lots of females in here to kind of keep them occupied as well. So a lot of the time you'll see the dominant male, he'll be the fully colored male, and the other males will kind of come in and out of their color a little bit. But yeah, a great group. And for the most part, they do quite well in here. So, but yeah, that's kind of the fish that I have. And these guys, they're always breeding for me. So always have holding females in here, and everything's quite balanced. It's working really well in here. So Just kind of wanted to go over some of the equipment that I have, just for some of you guys out there that might be curious. So this tank, originally I bought the lid, the light, the tank, and the stand. I bought it used through my local classifieds. Got a pretty good deal. I paid $300 Canadian for it, and it also came with, I believe it was a fluval. It was a smaller fluval filter anyway. I ended up selling the filter for, I believe, $80. So all in all, I paid $220 for this tank. It was supposed to come with a heater as well, but unfortunately it got left behind. And you know, I went out of my way about an hour and a half to pick up this tank, so I wasn't going back for the heater. It was just kind of a cheapo heater anyway. So I ended up putting an Aqueon Pro in here, and I have another video on my channel kind of going over a little review on the Aqueon Pro and a couple of other heaters that I've used down here in the fish room. So if you're interested in checking that out, I'll leave a link in the description down below, so feel free to have a look at that if you're looking for a good heater to use. So that's the tank, and with this tank I added a filter that I already had, which was my Eheim 2217, and that's on the right side of the tank. And I also picked up from my local classifieds a used Fluval FX6, and I paid about half price for it, so got a pretty good deal on that. I did have to add a little bit of media, but it was really no big deal. It was cheap, just kind of got it off of Amazon, and that filter has been fantastic. This filter setup in here really does keep this tank crystal clear. I know it's not 100% clear tonight, but if I leave the lights on and as the fish kind of get swimming around and everything gets stirred up a little bit, the filters will clear it out and the tank stays really clear. So it's a great setup. It works really well for here. I mean, I know, you know, everybody's not going to be able to afford, you know, really large filters all of the time and that, but you know, you make the best of what you can. And I mean, even if you have a couple of hang-on backs, some big hang-on backs, that'll work in a tank like this as well. So, but if you have the means to do it, the canister filters, the FX6 and the Eheim 2217, great combination for a 120 gallon tank, and they've been working really well for me. So what else can I talk about with the tank? I guess I can mention the decorations. In this tank I have just plain old pool filter sand. I think it cost about $15 for a bag, large bag of it. I have a bag and a half in here. Just picked that up at my local pool supply store. So great sand, you know, cheap, does the job, looks pretty good. You know, something else that I've used for many years with my Mbuna setup, and that's lava rock. So I just don't think you can beat lava rock in an Mbuna tank. I know some people kind of talk negatively about it, saying that it's a little bit jagged and the fish can get hurt, but the fish learn, you know, they know to kind of be careful when they're swimming in and out of the rock, I guess. So I've never really had an issue with any fish injuring themselves or anything like that. And the lava rock is fantastic because, you know, it really allows you to stack it and kind of make a lot of hiding places for your Mbuna. And I mean, these guys, as you can see, they don't hide in the rock. You know, they mostly use it for breeding and you know, some territories, but for the most part they're out swimming around. There's a nice large group of them in here, but the lava rock, it looks really nice, looks a little bit more natural. And you know, if you can pick it up through somebody, again with your local classifieds, if somebody's selling a whole lot of it, that's a good way to go. You can usually get it for a good price, and that's what I did with most of the rock in here. And then I picked up the odd piece just kind of through my local fish store, just to kind of finish it off. So the lava rock is great. It works really well with Mbuna, so highly recommend that. Another piece of decoration that I have in here that I get a lot of comments on and a lot of questions about is the plant that I have. And this plant is actually from PetSmart. I've had it for a number of years. It's a great little plant for an Mbuna tank. I think it costs $20 Canadian at PetSmart, and I know that they still sell them. I've seen the plant there recently, so hopefully they'll have them around your area if you're looking for one. But it's really great in a tank like this because it kind of divides the territories a little bit, and it's really awesome for holding females and kind of subdominant fish to have a place to kind of hang out and hide out, and they do definitely use the plant for that. So it's a great addition. It kind of gives the tank a little bit of height, and I think it looks really great in here. So yeah, this setup I've basically run for many years. I had it before in a 75-gallon tank. I might leave a link down in the description again for a couple other videos that I have kind of showing this tank, you know, a number of years back when I just had a 75-gallon, and it's basically the same setup but with a bunch of different fish. So if anybody's interested, you can click on those and you know, kind of check out a couple videos from back in the day, and maybe give you a few ideas for your own tank. So wow, those interruptus are really going at it tonight. You know, I don't actually see a whole lot of aggression from these guys, but of course on a night that you're going to film some video, they decide to put on a little show. But anyway, yeah, as far as you know, tips that I can offer you guys if you're looking to start up a tank, you know, Mbuna are a great fish. You know, again, nothing against peacocks and haps. You know, I love those as well. You know, you get a beautiful male tank going or something like that, you know, it's awesome. But you know, the great thing about Mbuna is with the males and females, a lot of different types of Mbuna, you know, both the males and females are very colorful. So it's kind of a bonus. You get color from, you know, both fish, and it makes a nice mix in your tank, right? So, you know, a couple other tips are maybe to crowd the tank a little bit. I think some people kind of make some mistakes with, you know, just having, you know, 5 or 10 fish in a tank, and then of course it gives them a chance to establish territory, and they kind of, you know, a dominant male will run the tank a little bit, kind of start bullying other fish. So when you have a nice large group, it really kind of evens out the aggression a little bit. You know, you also want to have a good female to male ratio. You know, if you've got a few males in there, it's always a good idea to at least, you know, double up on the females if you can. You know, if you have 2 males, try and get 4 or 5 females. It really just kind of balances the group out a little bit. It keeps the males fired up. It kind of gives them something to do, of course, because these fish just love to breed. So, you know, it's always fun to watch that when you have a nice group of females in there. Watch their natural behavior, and you know, the males kind of coloring up and displaying and dancing around for the females. But you know, it also just keeps the aggression down a little bit. When you have a nice large group of females for each male that you have, you know, it really just helps to balance the tank out a little bit. Let's see. I also want to be careful not to mix types of fish that are similar to one another, so maybe similar genus. So you don't want to have all, you know, Pseudotropheus in there, or all, you know, Metroclima. You don't want to have fish that are, you know, all striped or all one color. You know, all those little things kind of help to keep the balance in the tank. So, you know, if you have fish that look a certain way, or a certain type, or certain shape, certain color, you know, you want to get another few different groups that are, you know, that look different, so that the fish can kind of stick to their own group. And usually in that case, they'll leave the other fish alone. They'll just kind of stick with their own, you know, stick with their own females, stick with their own another male of their type. And again, it just kind of keeps with the balance. It's good to have lots of females and not have fish that are similar, or groups of fish that are similar in color and type, I guess. Let's see, I guess you know, again, like I mentioned with the lava rock and the plant, you know, it's really good for these guys to have hiding places. You know, it just helps them to kind of establish territories, have places to breed. You know, some of the fish that are less dominant can kind of have places to kind of take shelter, and it also looks great. So I don't know, those are kind of just a few tips that I just kind of jotted down here that I thought I would mention in the video. You know, again, Mbuna are awesome fish. I really highly recommend them. They're not as hard to keep, I don't think, as maybe some people make it out to be. You know, as long as you're smart about it and you kind of do a little bit of research, learn how to set up the tank properly, good filtration, you know, have all of the things available to these fish that they need, and you're going to have success. So I think that's going to kind of wrap it up for the video, guys. I just wanted to really show you this beautiful tank, and you know, I thought it's been a long time since I've shot a video showing this tank. I think it was basically the unveiling video. That was the only video that I've shown you guys. So just thought I'd do kind of an update and just kind of talk about everything that's going on in here. And yeah, so anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and hope you got something out of it. And if you liked it, I'd really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and follow along. And of course, I always enjoy reading your comments, so leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the tank. And yeah, thanks again, guys, for supporting the channel and watching the video, and we'll see you again real soon.